Kamal, point of view, okay? Tell me if she wakes up. Mom mumbled on the phone before hanging up. How is she? I asked her, frowning. Still in a coma, and they have wished to stay for a few days there. She replied, sighing. Satvi will be fine, Mom, I said, holding her hand. Why don't you all take some rest? Mom asked, looking at my friends and me. We are fine. Auntie, Girish said, and she nodded before clutching the phone. She didn't talk to me. She slowly mumbled, she must be in shock or somewhere. I mumbled back, so, did you like the engagement ring she bought for you? She suddenly asked, turning towards me. Even if you don't, you should like it because she bought it with her own money. She added before I could say anything. She had that much money? Rakesh asked, frowning at her. Yes. From the past few years, she stopped celebrating her birthday completely and started saving that money for the ring. She even did few works and let go buying some things just for the ring, Mom replied, smiling. But why? David asked, and I, too, want to know. She wanted the ring to be a special gift for Kemal. She wanted it to be a symbol for her love, Mom replied, and we all sat stunned. She loves me, I asked after a few minutes, not knowing what to even say to her. Of course, she was in love with you for many years, she said, smiling, and stood up. I will go and see for dinner arrangements. She mumbled and walked away, while I just sat there. Now I understood her running every time. Girish said, grinning at me. You are lucky to be engaged to a person who loves you. Rakesh said, smiling. However, he is not actually engaged, Pallavi suddenly said, making all of us stare at her. What do you mean? David asked her, frowning. She didn't put the ring on his finger, se replied, shrugging, and we all stared at my finger. I don't even know that she didn't put it. How did you? I asked her, frowning. I was just watching you both, she replied, shrugging. Nevertheless, everyone thinks the engagement is over. And it is over, Girish said sternly to her. What do you say, Kamal? She asked, turning towards me, ignoring my friends. It is over, and we need to leave tomorrow for the city. I want to search for a job soon, I replied, standing up and walked towards my room. So, you like her? She asked, following me. No, but she is my fiancée, I replied, and started packing my clothes. We are again leaving without talking to her, Girish asked, frowning at me when we stood near the door the next day. She will be staying at the hospital for a few more days, and will be tired to have a talk about anything. In the meantime, I can search for my job, I replied, and turned to wait for Mom. You will marry her, right, Kamal? No matter what happens, Mom suddenly asked. Yes. Now, you take care of yourself, I replied, hugging her, and walked away with my friends. Why don't you start with my dad's hospital? Pallavi asked, when we got inside the bus. I don't know. I want to try at my friend's working place, I replied, sighing. But my dad's hospital is the most powerful one in the city. You will have great position and will settle soon. I am already working there, and I am also your friend, right? She asked, smiling. Okay. After 2 of getting together all the documents, I will be there for the interview, I replied, nodding. Thank you so much, she said, smiling before leaning back to her seat. It will be better if you stay away from her, Girish whispered after a few minutes sitting beside me. Why? I asked him, frowning. I don't know. She seems to be trouble for you, he replied, shrugging, and I sighed, shaking my head, knowing well he doubts everyone. This is not a silly matter, he said, frowning at me. I know. I am tired and will try to sleep for some time, I said, closing my eyes while rubbing the finger, thinking, why didn't she put the ring? Maybe she got the call before she could, I thought to myself, and drifted off into sleep. Vani pave, Vani, how are you feeling? Auntie asked, walking outside the house when we were passing through hers from my house. Fine, I replied, and stood near my parents, not moving into her embrace. There was no change in Satvi, even during this week. I am scared for her, Mom said, and I held her hand. She will be fine, Auntie assured us, and I didn't even look at her. Why don't you all come inside? She asked. We will come later. We need to see the house and look after the rooms, I replied, walking towards my house. Why are you behaving like that? Mom asked when I was about to reach near my room. I am tired, I replied and just walked inside. You forced him, Auntie. You just forced him, I thought, hugging myself, and sat on the bed. It has been 2 weeks since we returned, and you didn't go to her house at all, Mom said the moment I walked outside my room. When I used to go there, you said I was spending too much time in that house. Now, you are saying I am not going. What is it that you want, Mom? I asked her, frowning. She loves you, Vani. That's all she said, and walked away. I closed my eyes and opened them before running towards her house from the back door, and saw her sitting on the chair with her eyes closed. I knelt before her and placed my head on her leg, mumbling, I am sorry. You got over your anger for me? She asked, brushing my hair. I am really sorry. Everything is just too much, and I wanted to stay alone, I replied, brushing my tears away. It is okay. Everything will be fine, she said, assuring me, and I nodded, hoping for the same, still searching for a solution. Hello, I said, lifting my phone. Woke up. I heard Leila's voice, and I immediately sat up from the bed. What? We will be there soon, I said, smiling to myself, and moved to stand up. Wait. I need to tell you something regarding the situation here, she said, stopping me, and I slowly heard everything without stopping her. So, if you come here, you should get along with the act we are doing. It is for her life, she finally said. I can't be there, Lala. She knows everything by just looking at my face, and I go and show hatred for Jiju as I am fond of him. I just go and be there, and Mom will babble in her nervousness, and Dad can do the same as he is also sad, I said, shaking my head. Okay, I will tell everything that is happening with her. Is that okay? She asked after a few minutes of silence. Okay. Take care of her, I replied, sighing. That stupid Choksi will never allow me, she complained before hanging up. Mom! Dad! Dee woke up, I said, rushing towards them, and explained everything. You did the correct thing, Vani. I just hope she will be here for your wedding, or else she will feel sad, Mom said, and I stood stunned for a second. My wedding? I asked her, frowning. Yes, Kamal got a very nice job. She just told us, Dad replied, smiling at me. It is already very late for your wedding, and we just want it to be soon. Mom's aide holding my hand. Mom, I want to stay with my friend for some time, I said, staring at the floor. Okay, she said, nodding, and I walked towards Auntie's house. Auntie, I am leaving for my friend's house, I said, holding her hand. Now? She asked, frowning. Yes. I will stay for a few days with her, I replied, and she slowly nodded. I hugged her, closing my eyes, before walking away to pack my bag and leave the place completely. Your dad will come with you, Mom said, but I shook my head. No. I can go there, I mumbled, and left the house, before taking a bus to the nearest village. I knocked on the door and waited for a few minutes. When the door opened by the person I wished, I slowly smiled at her. You were right. He doesn't want me, I said, and for the first time after hiding the sobs for so long, I gave in to them. Oh, Vani, come inside, she said, hugging me, and brought me inside. "You were always right, Rupa. He doesn't want a village girl like me, and even like someone else," I said, brushing my tears away. "He just doesn't deserve you," she said, rubbing my shoulders, and passed some water for me to drink. "I need to leave, Rupa," I said, staring at her. "Where?" she asked, frowning. "I don't know. I said I was going to my friend's home, but I was actually running away for some time, until he tells everyone that he doesn't want this marriage. I can't say that myself, because I still want this for my stupid heart," I replied, shaking my head. "Why don't you stay here until you know where to go?" she offered. "I can't be here and bring you any trouble," I said, sighing. "You are going to stay here, otherwise I will think you never forgave me for being very bad for you during the school days and college days," she said, holding my hand. "You were not bad, but just different opinionated than me," I said, smiling at her. "I know, but I am fine to call myself if it will make you stay here," she said, shrugging. "Your parents?" I asked, frowning. "No friend ever came to my house to stay from my direct attacks, so they will be more than glad to know I actually have a friend and never lied," she replied, dragging me completely inside the house to introduce to her parents. Who would have thought that the girl whom I thought as my enemy would be the best person for the time I needed someone to be with me?